Alright everyone, welcome back, morning, all that stuff. Okay, so yeah, today I've cancelled rugby practice, unfortunately, because of the arm. No surgery required, but I've been told to rest it. And the thing is, I'm just too tired, what with work, do you know what I mean? And don't forget, I'm getting up early in the morning, yeah? Monday to Friday, and I'm finishing late in the evening. I'm coming back, like, most of the time between, like, 9:30 in the evening from work, so I'm really working long hours, do you know what I mean? Because I want to buy some presents for the local area. There's an orphanage and an old people's home, and I just want to get some presents for, people that are more vulnerable and needy than myself, so it is what it is anyway, yeah, and it's nearly Christmas turkey time, and we know what that means. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 800 plus Christmas turkeys being given out in Hackney and Islington. Watch this space. You'll see me out and about like you always do, delivering turkeys and just putting a smile on people's faces that are struggling. That's what it's about, you know what I mean? Giving back to the community. Anyway, you don't want to hear all that. Let's talk YouTube. Video Craig. Okay, so I was about to watch his live last night, and then he put the rack pull on, so I jumped over to the shadow boxer. We'll cover him in a minute. But the bits I did say, once again, there's a petty argument going on between Craig, Rach, you know he's back with his Rach now, don't you? And Spikey Speaks Out, who I seem to... He ain't the guy that used to look like Tony Mortimer from E17, is he? Or is it another fella? Similar names in their channel anyway, but he's been a long-time member for a while, and they've all fallen out behind the scenes, which is no surprise because you can't trust anyone on this YouTube. There's only two good guys on this corner of YouTube, and they are Banter JDP and King of the Roast, Christopher John Edward Leonard James Murphy. They're the only two sound fellas on this corner of YouTube, and I hear JDP single. Well, that's not going to be for long, is it? Good-looking guys like JDP, they don't stay on the shelf for long, Trust me, he'll get snapped up by probably some model, and you know what I mean? And he's a good looking guy, mate, don't you worry. People like us, real man's man, have no trouble pulling the women, trust me. Real recognise real, if you get me. Anyway, so yeah, they were having a little spat over. He messaged Craig, then he sent some nudes or something to Chrissy or something. Craig had met Chrissy at McDonald's. McDonald's of all places, ladies and gentlemen. You can come to your own conclusion there. I mean, look, Video Craig's alright. He's somewhat lacking in intelligence, you know what I mean? He's not the brightest cherry in the basket, let's put it that way, but his naivety when he seems to pick his YouTube friends, because he hasn't got any real friends in the real world. All his friends, you might notice, they're all members, and they're all his little Discord cult, and do you know what I mean? The guy's an absolute woo. But you know what shocked me, and I don't know where he got the footage from. Chris King of the Roast, yeah? Check out his channel. One of the best channels on YouTube, after myself, of course. Chris put up some footage of Craig sat there in his gym jams, off his tits, rocking, bottles of water on the desk, or a big glass of orange with vodka. Popped out for his little, to flex his nostrils in the bathroom, then sat there in his little cupboard off his chops, slurring, looking sweaty, eyes rolling around his head, like them, what's them little things you get, just, I don't know, he looked like the Candy Man from Doctor Who, and he might the Candy Man. Oh, mate, where do we find them? Yeah, so anyway, yeah, that King of Roast just exposed Craig. I don't know what Craig's on, but Craig, mate, we care. Put down the foil. And start looking after you. Oh my God, I'm 21 months sober. When I saw Jake the Snake Roberts, he congratulated on me, my sobriety, and he also said, congratulations for getting back with your Rach, because I'm back with my Cheryl. Wink, wink. Anyway, I jumped over to the shadow boxer, yeah? Because of Craig's was the usual shit. And It was no better, unfortunately. He sent me to bed. I went to bed about fucking 11:30, 11:40. I can't even remember, yeah? Rambling on about Mickey and their pretend spat that they've got with each other. Look, Shadow, Mickey, you're never going to fall that because you never find anyone as gormless as used to. I mean, you connect, you like chalk and cheese, you like yin and yang, two simpletons, two pretenders who claim they're fighting men. Mickey got duffed up by Bash and then had to, oh no, it was a script, you say, yeah, alright, the kick was real, but it was all scripted. Yeah, sure it was, Mickey. Keep telling yourself that. Then he got roughed up by some woke police officer who just ragdolled Mickey to the floor and then stepped on him. It's just standing on him like that. Just call for a couple of female PCs, you know, throw this little weirdo in the back of the van, you know what I mean? And don't forget, Mickey's only a little fella. I mean, all right. Compared to Paul Dumbo Venice, ooh, he comes across as the Kandahar giant, but he's only a little fella, you know, like 5'5", you know, 7.5 stone, so, you know, alright, he can do a bit of kung fu or whatever, but, do you know what I mean? He's about as threatening as Kevin's self-defense. I will destroy you, boy! Did you hear Kevin? He exposed himself on someone's channel. I can't remember who, one a clipping channel or something. It was saying, oh, so they like 15 or 14 and 15-year-olds as well, do they? So they're like me, they're all the same, he went. And that, if that ain't a confession, I don't know what is. The guy's an absolute seedy little, oh, he's an horrible little man. Yeah, so everybody knows you. I had a bit of an exclusive yesterday on Brett Mite's True Crack. What's happened? He has converted to Islam. My friend who's on the same wing but only sees Brett just normally during like mealtime, or he sees him going in to have, you know, for prayer, like, you know, prayer, you know, like, you know, inshallah. Yeah, so people said, oh, Brett, that's made up, Doctor. Brett couldn't have grown a beard that quick. He wouldn't it. So it's just clickbait. It's not, mate. It's a true story. He's dressed in the robe and everything. He's taking it seriously, mate. He's changed his name. I don't know, fucking, you know, Ali or something. I don't know. Do you know? This is, look, you can believe it or you can't. If you want the real facts, you'll listen to the Doctor. If you want someone else copying your videos, you'll listen to my dear friend Ian Stungun Paddy, who once again is stealing my video ideas. Ian, we know you're a bit of a nerd, mate, but can you get your own material? I like Ian. I know he's somewhat clueless, he's a bit nerdy, he's a bit geeky, you know what I mean, especially with them big fucking sticky out logos. But Ian, just one complaint. I think you can be witty, you have got potential. Stop stealing Dr. Rackpool's innovations, mate. Come up with your own video ideas. For fuck's sake, I'm flattered. I really am. But do you know what I mean? Just try and get a bit of originality yourself. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? What else can I say except for he's acting like a bit of a sausage. Alright, so Paddy Pants Down went live last night, 8 o'clock. I was going to tune in, but then I thought, when I see the title, I see the Sayers, they're both in prison. They're both been separated from the rest of the prison populace. I thought, oh no, are we still on about this? Are we still on? They're planning, they're creeping, they're crawling, they're in a gang. You listen to me, lovely Emma. Make sure you wear that ruby red lipstick, because it drives me crazy. He's like a broken record. For the last 18 months, he's been rambling on about the Sayers and fucking Big Tony. Jesus Christ. When will it end? Please, talk about something different. Anything different. Yeah, nothing. Look, little 5'1.5" shorty pants, the little diddy man, Paul Dumbo Venice. He's been rather quiet. You know why, didn't you? No back and forth with Brett May to make a. I will see you, me and you, Brett May will see each other. He keeps calling Brett May a shithouse, and he's built like a bag of custard, and you know what I mean, and he's a nanny's boy. But Venice, you know better than you know. Someone's told me, in the comments, that when you got taxed out of 25 grand, you sent your wife to the street door to try and sort out that mess. True story, mate. Also, someone else has been in touch. They can't, unfortunately, get the Instagram stuff for me. They're working on that. But they've told me when someone dared to challenge Venice's 12-step recovery, and say, like, about Venice and his pretend, religious status. Venice claims he's a changed man and he's a man of God, except for when he's threatening the rest of YouTube and the viewers, of course, And Venice got all touchy and not touchy in that way. Well, who knows? They're all at it around this corner. No, I mean, and started making threats, to this guy, who just questioned Venice's 12-step recovery bollocks, it's all fantasy. Do you think Venice has ever stepped foot in a fucking church, except for the day he got married? Of course not. And people say, oh, no, but he's very respectful around his Bible, that's why. So you don't have to turn up at church. You can be a man of God and just preach at home, between your four walls. That's all it is. He's not a fighting man. He's not a man of God. He's a 5'1.5" little shorty pants. Do you know what I mean? We saw him when he was doing fair play for Dougie was calling the shots. He was in the ring. He was over the other side of the ring. Dougie was the fair play man, getting in, separating Danny and Decker. Do you know what I mean? And Venice was just like that.
Yeah, I'm just here to make up the numbers. Danny, nah, he's not my mate. Never seen him before. It's taxi here yet.
So it all kicked off, and Venice was like that.
If I say nothing, they won't know I'm here.
Also, what else has happened? A big YouTuber has got bitten. That's right. Ice Cold got bitten by one of his hamsters yesterday. I might even put that as the title. I should put that as a title. That will be the title of this video. Yeah. So top YouTuber Ice Cold bitten by one of his hamsters yesterday. What else has happened? We've had Decker's still on the missing list, because of Danny. Danny lad has warned him off. Danny is at the moment getting exposed by his ex-missus on KO Videos channel. You can check that out, That's for you to decide. Of course, I don't want to say anything because I wouldn't want to go against Danny's delusional fanboys. They're very loyal, you see. They're all like, no, Saint Danny is the best guy in the world, whereas Decker, do you know what I mean? Let's be fair with all this name calling and trolling. They're all as bad as each other. How does one get a pass like he's so saintly? Oh, he's apologised, he's owned it, he's made his mistakes, he's moved on, How does one go from battering his mother to being, pardoned, and the other one goes from pinching someone's buttocks in a nightclub and, trying to get his wicked away with her in a car seat? A little tight. How would Big Decker and a woman actually fit in a toilet together anyway? He's a big old gormless lump, isn't he, Decker? That'd be a sight for sore eyes. So yeah, Decker's been warned off. He still hasn't come back. Unless you care to prove me wrong, Decker, if you're watching, instead of worrying about, mummy, they don't like me. I just want to be everyone's friend. Rubbick, shake hands, worry, rubbick, call it a draw, boys, never hug. That's what I say. Decker ain't got the fire in his belly. He wants to be everyone's friend. He can't get in there and actually have a fight. He should hate people. Look. Danny Christie lives round the corner. He's making threats. Oh, mummy, they said they'll throw a brick at our house. Oh, I'm going to go and cry in my box room and eat a pot noodle. Instead of coming off your chops, get off your chops, march round the corner and go and see Christie and see if he wants it in the garden. Win, lose or draw, he won't be throwing his weight around again. Once he gets a few whacks in his face, mate, and starts bleeding, He won't be sat in his car all cocky. I told you, stay in your heroin box. You're not allowed on YouTube anymore. And then Decker's like, yes, boss. Sorry, boss. Decker, grow up here, you absolute fucking sad little gimp. Nothing else has happened. Like I said, all the fighting men, they're in these never-ending training camps. Jack Diaper, I ain't seen him in fucking about a year. Still looks the same, you know, hitting some fucking big puffed up pillow in his garden. John Paul Fitzlier. Fucking big bird. Fucking built like a pepperami is that one. Freedom fighter. Shit talker. You know, oh no, we don't want any immigrants on the Irish shores. You know, I'll see to that they don't step a foot in Ireland, says John Paul Fitzlier. Big bird. Popeye. Do you know what I mean? Who had been in a training camp for about, how long? 3 years, never had one fight. Even worse than Paul Dumbo Venice. I know you're thinking that's not possible, yeah. When we saw John Paul in the gym, he was just flapping around on the floor like a battered seal, flapping around, feet in the air like that. He needed a fucking good clubbing. That was his getting fit for a fight. I don't know what he was doing, leg raises or rolls or... Every time I see him, he was flapping around like a fucking battered bit of cod. Jesus Christ, where do we find? And they're all flexing them little bony arms. Jesus Christ, built like a broomstick. Fucking hell, them spaghetti arms. I've seen more meat on an OXO cube. Where do we find them, people? That's all. Anyway, yeah, I'll speak to you very soon. God bless.